Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Let me double check, do the good old classic, classic good old sound test, because I am just a yes. Can I get a sound test, please, 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 please? Right. Come on, can I get it? There we go. Can I be heard? That's what I get an ad. Good. Good. I can't check because I've got an ad. So I will quickly grab my phone charger and I'll take you guys with me on a tour of my house. So we're going to hit the audio screen. That, there we go, jolly good. Need to get my Evans done. Right, go back in here. Shutting the door. Oh, what a wonderful world we live in. Oh, can I be heard? Yes, wonderful. Well, I heard myself, and that's what I needed to hear, to be honest, because I hate myself. Right, into there. Right, while we wait for the last few people to get in, good evening, everybody. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Hope you've enjoyed the last weekend without Formula 1 action. We're going to be back next week in Zandvoort IRL, of course, but we are 3/4 of the way through this season. After tonight, we'll be 3/4 of the way through our inaugural season here at Hyperdrive Racing, which I think is quite insane, to be honest. It's been 3/4 of the way through already, 8 races in. Blimey, what a world we live in, and looks like we are getting underway here in Division 1. Now, tonight is sprint night, so we will have a sprint race. Obviously, that's what a sprint means. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Shorter qualifying, a 9-lap sprint, and then obviously the full 50% race of 27 laps. What people are going to do, are we going to have a difference in strategy? What is going to happen? It's going to be all very exciting. I do everything myself nowadays. Da 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 da. Diddly dee dee. Da 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 da. Now, there we go. Yes. There we go. Right. Yes, good evening. I'm not going to pronounce your name. I apologise because I think not pronouncing it is a better way rather than me trying to do it. Team DeVito. Yes, we have DeVito in the lobby. While we wait for people to pick their tyres, because apparently that takes a while on this game, let's have a look at the Division 1 standings 3/4 of the way through Season 1. After Spain, oh my god, these are tiny. My eyes. KJ leads by 7.5 points over Desta. Oh, it's raining, guys. That is fun. It's raining here in qualifying as I'm trying to read the driver standings. Do you mind, game? So KJ leads Destar by 7.5 points. Wow. He himself is only half a point clear of Humane, yep. So the top 3 are covered by 8 points. And then 7 points behind that is Diamonds. Diamonds is not racing tonight. So the top 3 are all here, KJ, Destar, and Human. So those 3 covered by 8 points, and KJ currently sitting on a not very tasty 7.5 point lead, which, of course, for those that are possibly new, tuning in tonight, of course, welcome. That is quite big for us because our point system is 3-2-1 for quali. So first gets third, second gets 2, and third gets 1 point in qualifying. The sprint is P1 to P10, going from 10 through down to 1 in 1 point increments. And then the race is 30 points for a win, 25 for second, 21 for third, 18 for fourth, 16 for fifth, 15 for sixth. God, that's a math. 14th for seventh, 13th for eighth, 12th for ninth, and 11th for 10th. Well, and there's 10, 9, and 8 for 11th, 12th, and 13th because we have 13 runners. So we can see very, very wide mood swings. Not mood swings, well, we can't see mood swings, but we can see very wide point swings. If you have a bad race, or if you don't finish a race, or if you got pole, won the sprint, and won the race, then you'd be up 43 points. And if your rival DNS or doesn't score any points, then, well, DNS doesn't score any points, then you've got a 43-point swing in your way. So weekends like this are critical for anyone that wants to put forward a championship challenge. I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to change the top three of KJ, Destar, and Human. But with a swing like that, you know, you could see some people shooting up if they do well this weekend. Oh, lovely. Sorry. Right, we will ride on board with KJ for this weekend. This weekend, I think, this lap. Let's see what he can do in that Alfa Romeo kick. No hard because it's more fun that way. Now, coming down into Prima Variante. My Italian's going to be sucky. Very nice there from the Alfa Romeo, of course, in the wet. Not quite as slick as it is in the dry. I know. Could you believe it? Now, coming round Curve Grande. That is a very track map. Let's use Wikipedia. Let's use anyone. Variante. Round Curva Grande into the second Variante. Very difficult corner to get right. Curbs can be quite deadly on the inside there. Very smooth there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Coming now into Lesmo 1, or Curve de Lesmo. Or if you're an old F1 fan, an old F1 YouTuber fan, Lesbian 1 and Lesbian 2. Into Lesmo 2. Not wanting to go too wide. Was that an invalidation? It wasn't. He still has his lap intact. Coming down the Curva del Serigilio. Oh my gosh. Mars? What? How has he done that? Okay. KJ's gone through Ascari since after that crash. I don't know how Mars has binned it down the straight, but it's Mars. Found the Curva Parabolica, which has a new name, but I am still going to call it Parabolica because I'm one of the oldies. And Parabolica, a corner you really want to accelerate really early on, but it just seems to last forever. Blasting down the straight. 27.2, but it's immediately beaten by Nomad on a 27.1. Next we have the Ferrari of Humane, who is lap is still valid, but he's on an outlap, so it doesn't really affect anything. Then it's this Hume Basher, again on an outlap. Then we have a Red Bull of Dan P.S. Banan, as Golsey has left the session. I'd love to know how Mars crashed. Right there, but Banan now up to the line. It's not going to be quick enough to challenge the top two. Stops him into third on a 28.4. Next we have the Williams. No. Well, whoever it was, they're either starting a lap or they just finished a lap. Aston Martin? It was Aston Martin of Louis. Okay, so you have Louis there. Death Star has invalidated crucially for him. It looked like he went white on purple there in set 2, and he even had his teammate in front of him, possibly Grizzly, giving him a tow. Looks like he was. Grizzly was not going quick on that lap, so Grizzly trying to play the team game, and well, Death Star's kind of bummed that up as T17 goes into P3, 4 tenths off Nomad. Now we know the two Mercedes are next, but we know neither of them is on a competitive lap, and it looks like they've swapped. Nope, Death Star is picking, so he goes for pits. The Haas of DeVito. You've got a DeVito fan in the chat. Coming up to the lines for DeVito to 26.2. Whoa! 9 tenths clear, nearly a second clear of his teammate in second. A good lap there from DeVito. Up next we have Humane on his second lap in the Ferrari. First flying lap in the Ferrari to the 26.3, only half a tenth off DeVito. Wow! That is a good lap there from the Ferrari and the Haas. We have Assume Basher up to the line. 26.4, so is the track improving perhaps as the top three are now in the 26s? We'll have to see as Golsey's left session again. And who's that going for a spin? Grizzly's gone for a little spin in Variante too. Now, is the track drying? If they've had that massive amount of lap time boost as Louis has invalidated, could the track be drying up? Now it's going to be interesting to see what people do. Some people will do one run, like Death Star. It did one run on the Inters and has called it a day after his first one. some will do mini laps. For example, do mini laps. It's not non-competitive. No. Few mains out there. DeVito's up by. Oh, he's about 3 seconds as well. KJ has left the session. 85% rain the whole quality. 85 voice, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. 85% rain, okay, it's not bad. So it's not going to change. Thanks Mars, for spoiling that for us. Go crash on a straight line. Oh wait, you already have. Wow, there's my voice of the commentator. My roast of the session ahead. We also do, for those who want to talk to me more, then he does. We do have some rewards and challenges in the channel point section, such as the commentator's curse, which I don't know about. You commentator curse a driver of your choice. Good. We have what else we have? Hydrate, spectator driver, and remove the HUD if you have 1500 channel points, which means I have to do at least 3 laps with no HUD on. So I'll have no idea what's going on, which could affect you guys more than me, because really I'm just here to tell you what happens. If you guys need like footage for an appeal and I didn't see what happened because I had my HUD off, then that's it. Death Star. Okay, Death Star, you are going to have a fantastic race weekend. You're going to get lots of points, aren't you, Death Star? Now whether or not this works, yeah, who knows. Death Star now coming down. We will spectate Death Star because he has been cursed. We spectate him as he heads into the first of the variantas, or the Varianta del Retafilio, if you want to be classy. Into now, out of there, pretty smooth there from the Mercedes driver into the Curva Grande, the big curve, because God forbid we have any sort of, I don't know, thoughts with these names, you know. As looks like Lewis got third in the Aston Martin, goes up to 5th as well. Death Star now through the second Varianta chicane. Pretty nice, but he's really struggling. You can hear the wheel spin in the back of the car as he's trying to get on the throttle as he goes through Lesmo 1. Very clean there from the driver into Lesmo 2. A little bit of understeer, missing the apex slightly, not going wide enough to invalidate, but slightly missing the apex of the Lesmo 2. Basher now goes on to provisional pole with 26 dead. Wowzers. Good luck there. So the track is improving, the track is drying up, even if it is going to remain wet. As Death Star now comes through, Ascavi. Oh! Has a moment there. Ascavi, even though it's better on this year's game than last year's game, is still very much a difficult track to race on, and different corners, especially Ascavi. Death Star goes slightly on at Parabolica, but I think it should be okay. He goes back on the track, he does. But it's not very stable there. Car up to the line. It's 26 dead, so he does go to pole, despite the couple of slight mistakes there. So the track is drying up. That's why DeVito has gone for the softs. I think he's a bit optimistic with that, if I'm going to be brutally honest. As the sheet redeems hydrate. Thank you very much, my good sir. I shall have a good drink of my totally non-alcoholic beverage, which is definitely non-alcoholic. And you can't prove me that it wasn't. Into the pits. He's going to slide into the pits quite nicely, but he's going to call it a day for now. I think as we've got a yellow flag that from going up for a lap. It's T17 going up for his another attempt in his Williams. He has not yet. He's on his same engine that he started the session with, so those tyres have been through a little bit. As you can see, taking several shots out the steering wheel. Is that Basher up to the line? Is he going to be pushing? No, he's into the pits as well. So some people that have decided to do multiple laps on the same tyre are now pitting. They want to have fresh tyres for the end of this session. DeVito's still convinced that the softs are the way to go. Quite a bit of a lull at the moment. People are going to be waiting until probably about 5 minutes to go back out again. But we do have Golsey, he's left the session again. So he's really having issues with his connection. I can feel him on that. I've had that before. Constantly if I can sector 3. What is Death Star doing? Is it out of fuel? No, he might be trying to charge the OS up. Oh, he's out. No, he's out of fuel. Nice. SG Main now coming down into Curva Grande. Stick with him, he's a championship protagonist. He's in third, 8 points off KJ in the lead. Half a point behind Death Star in second place. Coming out, came into the second variant. He's down by just under a tenth on his personal best lap time. bit too much care, I think, there, but it's worked for him. He hasn't lost the rear end. Main now coming down the big long straight at the back of the circuit. Coming down the good old Cova del Serragilo. I butchered some Italian names. He's up though by nearly a tenth. He's found 2/10 in the second sector to be down a tenth and up a tenth. Very nice for Ferrari. They did not lose any time there. As long as Parabolica remains okay for the Ferrari driver, then we may see him go on to provisional pole with 6 minutes left in this Q1 or this qualifying session. Q-Main coming round, Parabolica now. Up the gears, it's been a very clean lap from the Ferrari driver. Can he get onto provisional pole? No, he does not. He improves by 2/10 up to third, but he can't quite put that car on pole position. Missing out by half a tenth. Look at the gaps between the top three. You've got half a tenth between Death Star and Basher, and then 0.002 of a second between Basher and Humane in third. Wow, that is tight. That is close. And then 2/10 back to Davito, who has decided that maybe softs aren't the order of call today, and he's on the intermediates. Louis has started his lap, of course, as well. Quite a few people here, like Nomad, KJ, and T17, choosing to sit in the pits a little longer, let the others dry the track for them a bit. But there's got to be a ceiling. If the rain is going to stay for this whole session, there's got to be a ceiling of performance on this track. There's a point where the track cannot get any drier because of the oncoming rain. So we will have to wait and see. Yeah, Tom isn't here. And Shumane coming in, yeah, he's not going to be going any quicker. But he could be giving his teammate a tow, or might be looking to give Golsey a tow if Golsey decides to stay in his lobby for more than 20 seconds. But we'll stay with DeVito. Fourth place man hasn't set a lap in a few minutes, so he could be trying to take the advantage of better conditions. He's down by half a tenth. People aren't really improving in Sector 1, but Sector 2 appears to be where most of the time is being made, and is he... bit squiggly there, probably would not have helped him much, to be honest. Coming out into Lesmo 2. Oh, it's a bit wide, but he's kept it somehow within track limits. Maybe because he didn't quite do it, didn't go quite wide enough or quick enough. Coming now into the Ascaris, apparently purple sets 2, but the game likes to give up purple sets 2, like EFI Elite likes to give up penalties to Ocon. We're restarting, KJ says. Do we have to? Because I'm enjoying this. It's getting me quite a lot, and I'd rather not have to restart. But if we have to restart, we have to restart. Let's have a look. Up the line for DeVito. He goes no place higher. Okay, I think the lobby might be a bit pooped, as, yep, Golsley's crashed and retired. Wiz is apparently up. Louis up. Oh, okay, right. Oh, I wish I had like a thing I could do. It's like you know, like you could do like a technical difficulty screen, but I can't sadly. Yippee indeed. Right, while we wait, let's have a look at my compendium, guys. All my cameras. Okay, no, I can't be opened, but okay, let's have a look, guys. Compendium, do I not need more cards? That's disappointing, guys, isn't it? Yeah. What mail? I got mail. Let's have a look. What mail did I get? What mail did I get? Yay! New driver's stats. Oh, I could claim that too. I'm gonna claim that too. I'll claim some free 5,000 XP. Nice. You got mail. And then we got, oh yeah, some new stuff here. Great, wonderful, love it, guys. Yeah, Oh, oh, look at that, 2,500. I get enough to get the podium pass. Yay! Let's go, boys. Podium pass. What a life. I can't even see like half the stuff on here, but oh, that's a thing. What's this? Oh, okay, that's not a bad helmet. That's a nice helmet, to be honest. What else is in here? Okay, a suit. It looks okay. I'm going with a very Florida vibe here. I don't know why. Cool. And look at that, even more thick one. What a world. Anyway, that's enough of that. Cool. I don't want mail. I'll recheck the mail. Thank you for the invite, DeVito. Much appreciated, my man. Bow, 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 bow. There we go. Have a looky. Maybe at some point you'll get Asmon Glove. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I love this game. Oh. I've been pinged. It is Daniel. Invite me. Oh, he's already in. Whew. Can you set my first up, please? I can try to veto. Certainly try. You got some F1 jokes? Oh yeah, I do actually. What did Kimi Raikkonen say to the shopkeeper? Right, we're going back in, guys, to the lobby. Hopefully the servers aren't fucked. He cut the chicken. He cut the chicken. Not the chicken. I mean, if the competition was getting high, then we're gonna have some fun. Oh, it's funny now. It's not convenient. Alright, right, Death Star, you need, not sorry, Mars, you need to crash out, because that's what you did last time, and it's unfair advantage. Got a few cars heading out on the old racetrack, including Golsey. Who's going to be first one out? It's going to be the Haas of Mars. No, that is a Haas. That's a white car going out, isn't it? That's a white car going out. There's one Haas. Oh, there's the Vito. It's the Vito. Dear silly me, I'm such a goofy. Let's see what DeVito can do in that Haas. So the board is reset to be all back to 0, and Martin needs to crash at the end of the straight. So come on, Mars, get your move on. Into the wall for you, my good sir. Right, we stick with DeVito, Danny DeVito, as we come down to this first chicane. He's let the Ferrari of Golsey through. Golsey obviously wanting to get some track time after the game, repeatedly kicking him out last time. Coming now down the back straight here at Monza, which doesn't actually have a name, which is disappointing because everything else has a name apart from that back straight. Quite a letter of appeal. Yes, we need to move the hardware engines, that's a good idea. Golsey though, he will be the first to start his lap. Let's go! Coming down now, the start finish rate here at Monza into the first chicane, the Variante de Retfiglio, or just Variante. The first Variante into he goes, nice, not too much curb, keeping the Ferrari flat to the ground, coming out of the corner again, nice exit there from Golsey, nothing too aggressive, but that's what he needs right now, it's his first lap, he's got a full session of laps to go. He now comes down towards the second of the Variantes, purple sector, and of course, first on a flying lap. Coming now down and around through the second of the Variantes into the first Lesmo. I've understood they're a bit wide for the Ferrari driver, but he keeps it well within track limits. Into Lesmo 2, how's he do? Again, a little bit wide of the apex, which will be slightly closer to that curve, but still very good from him. Coming down the Curva del Serraglio. He now gets into the slipstream of some of the cars on their outlaps. Oh, really leaving it to the last minute to pull out there of the slipstream. Round Ascari. Now coming down the back straight that has no name, the straight with no name. coming down towards the Curva de Parabolica. The Parabolica, the last corner on this track. What's he going to be able to do as he heads into it, braking nice and hard, already slightly on the throttle. He's already on full throttle. Look at that dedication he has. Now coming down and round out of the final corner. It's a 19.5 from him. Now we wait and see. What can the Hasses do? What can the Haas of Nomad do? He can't do anything. He has invalidated. What about De Vito? He has not invalidated De Vito. Very nice set from De Vito around Parabolica, not going too wide. Coming up to the line. What's it going to be for De Vito? It's going to be a 120, 19.8, as KJ does a 19.8 as well. So we have two cars in the 19.8s. Next we have the we had Daniel coming up to the line now. It's a 19.4 for Daniel. He does a 10th clear of Golsey. That's a good lap from Danan. Goes into P5. Got the other Ferrari there. He mainly goes second with a 19.5. Look at these gaps. They're so small. Love it, guys. Loving it so far. Death Star is invalidated again on his first lap. He does not like doing first laps that are valid. Who's next? It's the McLaren of Ashim Basher. And he comes around Variant of the goals. He's left the session again. Up the line from goal for Basher. What can he do? It's a 19.6 from McLaren into fourth on the second row for him. Now it is Desta. No, not Desta. No. Grizzly on his outlap, but it is Louis in the Aston Martin, who's the next one on a flying lap. He had a very good qualifying in the aborted session earlier. He's doing quite well in the Aston Martin. Up the line for Louis. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 122 for him. He's ahead of Danan. Next is the Alfa Romeo of Mars. Up the line for Mars. It's a 19.2 for Mars. Into provisional pole for Mars there. Fantastic lap for him as he goes 10th on a 20.8. He passes as Nomad goes up to 8. So we have Grizzler on his flying lap. He's got the grass here slightly, so he had to correct himself going into the second Variantes. He's on a good lap, purple, sector 1. Coming now round and down the Lesmo. Look at that, losing all the curb. Lovely there from Grizzler in the Mercedes. What could he do? Could he go on provisional pole after the first runs here in Monza? Up to the second sector. It's a purple sector 2, but we obviously know the sector 2s, they like to give them out a lot here in F1 23. We're now down the back straight. Very clean Ascari from him as well. It's a nice lap here for Grizzler. It's a good lap from Grizzler. Now, Parabolica to come. One final braking zone. He brakes. And already on full throttle going around the final corner. And up to the line. What's it going to be for Grizzler? It's going to be a good lap. It's 19 flat from Grizzler. He goes to provisional pole. 2/10 clear of Mars. Wow. That is a good lap. Very good lap there from Grizzler. Very good indeed. So we have a Mercedes on pole. As the last of those that have done their laps back into the pits. As that came out the pit lane. That was KJ. KJ coming out again. He's only 7th in the Alfa Romeo. So KJ is championship leader, only 7th. But then again, he can't really complain when one of his title rivals is down in, hasn't set lap time yet, but his other one's in 4th. So exciting times ahead. Let's stick with Death Star. He is a championship protagonist. It is 3/4 of the way through the season, and he's right there. He passes the Haas there, keeping well out of the way, keeping the pit lane. Death Star into the Variante, or the rest of the Variantes, and the exit. Very nice from him. Coming now up into the Curva Grande. Very nice from him. Look at that. Keeping right on the curb. He's keeping all of the car on the curb. In fact, even touches some grass there. Got to be careful that doesn't affect his lap time. Coming now into the second Variante. He has, in fact, got a purple sector 2. Slight correction there. Slightly too much curb there. But still no drifting like we had for Grizzler. Coming now out of Lesmo 1. Nice from him. What can he do through Lesmo 2? That's nice from him for Lesmo 2. Look at that precision. Coming round that corner. We're now down the back straight towards the Ascari chicane. Death Star is purple again, apparently in sector 2. It's got a bit deep to the Ascari. That's going to compromise his lap massively there from Death Star. Massive compromise from him there. Coming now down to Parabolica for the Mercedes driver. One corner left, one braking zone left, braking nice and hard into Parabolica. Bit wide from him. Oh, he's lost the rear end. Can he keep it? He kept it on the side, but it's been a very compromised lap here from Death Star. It was looking so good. Feeling a 19.9, only 10th for him. Wow. All 13 runners have set their laps. KJ, in fact, is already going out again. KJ wants to get at least 3 runs in this session. Up now for the second of the Variantas. He's up by a 10th, so he's up by a 10th at the moment. KJ coming now round into the first of the Lesmos. Nice, not too bad from the Alfa Romeo driver into the second Lesmo. Does he take as much curb as the Mercedes did? Not quite, but he does very much take the apex very nicely there. Coming down the back straight and get a nice little toe there. Oh, who's that from? Oh, it's his teammate. God, who would have thought that, guys? It's almost like they might have coordinated it. He's up by a 10th and a half into Ascari. Bit wobbly there through Ascari, but still a very clean run from the Alfa Romeo driver. Coming down the back straight now towards the Parabolica one last time for KJ. Well, I say not last time, he's got another 9 minutes of the session to go. He's still got a while to go for KJ. Look at that, almost full throttle halfway around the corner. KJ now up the line in the Alfa Romeo. What can he do? 19.2 onto the second row of the grid, just behind his teammate Mars. Very nice lap there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Nice improvement from him. Vito is not pushing on this lap particularly. Well, he's down a second. He might have made a mistake early on. Desar's pitting. He's out of fuel. He's pitting from his final lap. Vito's also following Mars in, as is Nomad. Basha is finishing his out lap. Dan is also out. He's up by a bit of time. He's up by a bit, but not enough at the moment as things stand to get him up the order any further for Dan. Coming around the final corner of the Parabolica up the line. It's going to be for Dan. He's going to get any further up the grid. He does. Does indeed. He beats Louis up to 11th. Up to 11th for Dan, but still not into the 119 for him. Look at that top 10 covered by 9/10 of a second. Jeez. Wow. 9/10 covering first and 10th. That is quite something. We've got Louis on an outlap. We've got Basha on his lap. He's got a purple sector 1. Okay. Heads up. That's not bad from Basha, but he's got to find another half a second if he wants to even think about pole position. Very nice from the McLaren driver. A lot more tighter. People finally hitting that inside curb on the right or through the second Resmo. We're now down the straight as the two two Alfa Romeos playing with each other again. It's a bad habit, guys. Grizzler also on the outlap. He wants to go again. We'll stick with Louis for now. No, we won't. We'll stick with who was on board with Basha, wasn't it? Can I? There we go. Thank you. 3/10 up for Basha, so that would put him as things stand quite possibly on the second row ahead of Daniel, depending on how good this last corner is for him. Look at that, he doesn't even go down to 5th gear, stays in 6th, full throttle already. Might have actually benefited from going down to 5th. The engine's got quite low on revs there for the McLaren driver up the line. Look at that! Half a 10th between him and Grizzler, but Grizzler's cooking. Grizzler's cooking, lads. Grizzler is coming into, he's more or less matched his first sector, which isn't an issue for now. But what can Grizzler do? Can we get into the 118s here in Division 1? Around the Lesmos, looking very professional and positional from the McLaren Mercedes driver. God, who's on comms? Who is on comms? Who knows? Coming now down the back straight. Oh, not the back straight. Up to the Ascari. He's nearly 2/10 up his Grizzler. It's sync stand. It will be the 118s for the Mercedes driver. Why do I keep saying McLaren? It's not a McLaren. It's looking very dominant here from Grizzler. Pushing very hard in that Mercedes, coming out into the Parabolica. Coming into the Parabolica for him. Look at that, again, full throttle halfway around the corner. Grizzler coming up the line. Should be the 118s for him. Should be no issue at all. 18.7. And that is a new benchmark laid down there by the Mercedes driver. I think that's going really quiet. That's cool. As Louis up by half a second. So Louis going to be setting a respectable lap here, hopefully into the 119s for him. Quite possibly even jumping up ahead of Nomad if he remains half a second up. Louis up the line. What's it going to be for Louis? 19.3. A nice improvement there for Louis, up by nearly a second. Into the third row for Louis. 5th place for the Aston Martin driver. Not bad at all. Who else is of interest? It's like most on their outlaps. Louis and Grizzly have finished theirs. Nomad's on his final lap, as is Deathstar. Deathstar up by 3 milliseconds. We will stick with the Mercedes driver, purely because, well, he's a championship protagonist. No offence, Nomad. But we'll sure we can go back to the Haas driver afterwards. So Destar now coming down into Ascari. This is where he had one of his two big defining mistakes. And look at that, there's another Mercedes. Wow, what are the chances of a Mercedes finding each other quickly down the back straight? But he's half tenths down. Doesn't matter as long as Ascari is clean. It's cleaner, but not by much. Destar, my man, what is it with you and Ascari? Your setup does not like curbs. Coming out into Parabolica for Destar. I can't lie, it will be an improvement, but I can't see him getting particularly close to Grizzle's 18.7. As it stands for Destar, a much better lap, yes, but still far from perfect and far from the lap he would need to get pole. The 19.3 from Destar, again, Ascari costing him once more. We'll go back to Nomad. He's up by a 10th. What can Nomad do? He beats his teammate. It's up to 10th. It's a battle for the Hasses to who can qualify 10th. And DeVito is currently up by nearly 2 tenths. Could be going to him fairly soon. Just finish his lap. He should have time to get round and go again. Golsey, our captain of the disconnect. Golsey now coming up down the back straight, or not the back straight, it's the straight that's not that straight. It's a not straight. Now it's his second 2 times up by half a second. Hello, Golsey, where have you been? Need to all my life. That would have been a bit odd. Coming through a sky again is clean, so I don't know what it is on Destar's setup, but he does not like curbs, but Destar is struggling with the curbing here at the Monza International Circuit. Coming down into Parabolica, again staying in 6th gear, not sure it's necessarily the best choice, but I think it was better because he carried more speed, so the engine didn't rev quite so low. Up to the line for Golsey, it's a 19 flat, so the 3rd place for Golsey and a good half a second improvement there for the Ferrari driver. I don't think he's going to get round in time if he takes a conventional layout, because there's another, well, yeah, he won't make it round again, I don't think. So that could be Golsey done for the session. Daniel has started a lap? Yeah, Daniel started his lap. Nomad of the... Oh, sorry, I big DeVito going up to 8th. Good job there for DeVito, beating his teammate. So Dan are back out on track again, Human on track. So we have some people on track. Some have finished their laps. I think it's definitely, yeah, Destar should get round and out again. Seeing it's a 1 minute 18 flying lap, so the out lap is about 1 minute 30, 1 minute 14. In fact, by that assumption, could Golsey get round again? Do I get anything other than the yellow flag? No, it's a yellow flag. Yeah, no, Golsey ain't making it round again. Because, well, yeah, you guys can still go down the pit lane. So, Golsey's session is done for. As is anyone else coming on a flying lap or on a lap. And Daniel's up by half a second. Wowzers. Daniel in the Williams. And look at that for Ascari. That was commission and a half. Coming now up to the final corner for Daniel. It's been a very good improvement. If he keeps this improvement, he goes to the front row. I think it's going to be a battle for second, not a battle for first. Not the cleanest Parabolica, but it will do for now. Crushing it to the right to get the shortest route to the line. What's going to be for Daniel? An 18.8, he gets into the 118s, the second man to do so today, but still a 10th off Grizzler in the Mercedes ahead. Mars is on the flying lap, was on the flying lap, is on the flying lap, he is on the flying lap. Mars coming now down towards Parabolica, he's 5th at the moment as things stand. What can Mars do? Oh, he's got a bit deep through Parabolica, I think he's backed off. Yeah, he's definitely backed off. So Mars not going to improve on his lap, but he is giving his teammate a hell of a tow. Oh, look at this! Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play Teammate of the Year. If that is ever an award, KJ should be giving it to his teammate, because that was a hell of a tow. But deep into the very end, maybe it was too much of a tow. He's unable to get the car slowed down in there for the Alfa Romeo. Unfortunate for him, obviously Mars, his session is done. So Basho starting his lap. Yeah, 45 seconds left in the session, so if you're in the pits now like Golsey is, you ain't getting out again. So I think most people are starting their laps, most people will be getting onto them fairly soon. DeVito thinks he can complete the lap of the Monza circuit in 30 seconds. And I think even with the most obscene of layouts, he isn't going to make it around in 30 seconds. Nomad is... Ooh, Nomad's going to be a bit tight for the line here. I think he might just be okay. He might he's pushing the Ascari there. Yeah, maybe on the mediums, because why would you pick... The mediums is T17 round. T17 in the wall at Ascari. Don't forget guys, safeguards are still disabled. As oh, Dan's got up to the 19, so good for Dan. I'm proud of Dan. Yeah, we stand Dan. Yeah, so there you go. We have the two Hasses finished, which actually Nomad didn't quite make it, but DeVito could still be an issue here. He's not on a flying lap, obviously, and he's AI controlled, so he could be an issue here for the cars behind. But speaking of the cars behind, who do we have behind him? Dan is not on a flying lap. We have the one McLaren of Basher. Basher's down by 2/10, unless he has the last sector that. Oh, yeah, no, he's on a shoulder curve. Doesn't want to lose his car, but Basher is out. Louis now cannot find any of the Aston Martin. He's up by a little bit. Louis up to third for Louis. Good for half a second again. He's making great improvements every lap. We have the Mercedes of Dessler. Dessler needs a good lap here from him. Up to fourth. Dessler can be happy with that. What about Humane? Humane, another championship protagonist. He's not improved. He's 5 seconds down, and that's his session done. But now we look to Grizzler. Grizzler's invalidated. Daniel is not on a lap, so Grizzler is on pole position here. Grizzler on pole in the Mercedes. It's Daniel Oliveira in second place in the Williams. Louis third in the Aston Martin. Death Star, the top of the championship protagonist, in fourth. Basher fifth. Golsey in sixth. Mars can only manage seventh. KJ will be disappointed with eighth. Humane will be disappointed with ninth, but knows he's got the championship leader in his sights. Vito rounds out the top 10. Nomad in 11th. Dan in 12th. And T17 13th and last of the qualifiers. But Grizzler didn't need to improve in his final run. He had provisional pole, he didn't improve, but he has done an 18.7. Fantastic lap time. So, yeah. It's going to be quite an exciting sprint race coming right your way in just a few seconds. Or was it? Good. I thought someone joined me in Discord for a second. I was like, Jesus. So, there's your top 13 out of 13 runners. Grizzler, Daniel, Louis, Death Star, Basher, Golsey, Mars, KJ, Humane, DeVito, top 10, Nomad, Dan, and T17, your drivers. Now, we have a sprint race. Don't forget, people do not ready up immediately on the grid. Formation laps, I believe, are still off. I want to say they are. Yeah, Death Star, upset with a Scarvy. Not the person, obviously, the corner. Boom, 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 boom. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. D. Anytime to see you guys. Oh, but she knows. Ah. Oh yeah. Sorry for the yawning, guys. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to have 5 red lights. I don't even have a HUD ready or a HUD available. It's going to we go. Meow. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be soft. Oh, a mixture of soft and mediums for the sprint race here in Monza. Grizzly down to turn 1 first. Is he going to remain first? Daniel to the outside. Daniel to the outside. Daniel takes the lead. Daniel takes the lead. The lead takes to Daniel. Daniel takes the lead from Grizzly. Grizzly down 2 seconds, but it's going to be now a drag race to Curva de Sol, Curva Grande. It looks like Grizzly's winning that at the moment. He's using a little more overtake to make sure he keeps the lead. Daniel's still there though. Daniel's slotted in behind as they head down into the second. Yep. Looks like it's been a clean getaway from everyone so far. Yes, they're all the people. Oh no, T17's making up his own track. But Grizzly now takes the lead. He keeps the lead after the attack from Daniel. Destar is third. What are the position gains so far for the wonderful people at home? Destar up 1. He's overtaken Louis as DeVito is out of the race already. I can't go back and look. All cars are past. Louis down 1. Gossy's got past Basher. KJ's got past Mars. Humane's got. Oh my gosh, Mars has gone to Narnia. Mars has gone. You know what, guys? I don't like this track, and I completely cut it. But he's come down to 11th. So let's go back. Humane up 1. Dan up 3. Nomad up 1. Mars the big faller down 4 as Basher now is being bashed about by KJ. He's down 2 positions now. Oh, but he's got back past KJ. But it looks like, again, a drag race going to be going ahead. And KJ does take it temporarily. As Destar's, oh my gosh, what the bloody hell's going on here? It's 3 wide temporarily, and Destar's gone from 3rd to 1st in the span of a straight. Pushes Daniel wide just to make sure Grizzly can get the better run. But Grizzly now from 1st to 3rd in the span of a straight. Wowzers. Dime, thank you for the tier. 6 months in advance. Wow. Thank you for the subscription, my man. Thank you for supporting Hyperdrive. Grizzly coming now down. He's lost absolutely everything. It's incredible the fact that he's lost everything. He's, in fact, Desert leads. He's on the medium tyres. So we're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see who can make their tyres last. At the end of the sprint race. The softs will be quicker for now, but give another 3 or 4 laps. It could be the mediums that have the advantage. So you're on there, slightly wide there from Daniel, but obviously they're going to be pushing forward. Destar's already used up a third of his ERS in the span of the first opening lap, which possibly explains why he was able to dash ahead of these two, because he used up more ERS than them. Louis keeping track of the top 3 in 4th position, Gobsy in 5th, and KJ 6th. KJ making some good position gains as a championship leader, but he's got Basher, and Basher wants his P6. Up the inside for Basher. Basher gets it bashed. Basher does, but again, KJ's going to have the slipstream. It's the same thing that happened last time. Here comes KJ with the slipstream down the start-finish straight as Destar sets the fastest lap. But here they come. They are slipstreaming each other. Daniel Oliveira doesn't look like he's got a little bit more downforce here as they all. Oh, that was a bit close there. As they all concentrate up into turn 1. Louis looks like a bit of a run at Grizzly. Grizzly is, despite that amazing pole time, falling down the grid here a little bit here in this sprint race. Louis putting on a lot of pressure. Louis going to try and do the Sebastian Vettel as even Daniel's having a go at Destar as Louis looks at the inside, but backs out of it as Destar's gone wide. Destar's on the grass, and that's given Daniel the lead of the sprint race. Destar making an uncharacteristic mistake there for Destar. A time where he could take the championship lead after this sprint race, obviously without the main race still to come. But he has fallen back as Dan gets a 3-second penalty already within the sprint race. Look at this. It's a DRS range from 1st down to 9th. They're all within DRS range of each other. They now head through Ascari. T17 picks up 3 seconds. So people will be picking up 3-second penalties in the sprint race. That doesn't bode well for the main race. Daniel coming into Parabolica. Curse Daniel. Daniel is doing great. I didn't see anything. What do you mean? Destar's going to have a go. Destar is really trying to get the lead of this Italian Grand Prix sprint race. And now it's Grizzler around. Grizzler's gone. Grizzler has gone. And he's down to 8th place, up to 7th as Goldie. I think slightly tagged in that. But Grizzler from pole to 7th. His race goes from bad to, well, shit. As Daniel does get passed by Destar. Or does he? Destar takes the lead. We have a compromised line. And he's already out of ERS. The ERS light is already flashing. We're on lap 4. I can't help but get the sinking feeling that, oh, Daniel's gone! Daniel's gone! He has been commentator cursed! Daniel's gone. Looks like he might have a full front wing, but he's been commentator cursed. And Humane is going to have the run here on him. Is Humane, but no, he's not quite got to the straight line speed. Daniel's running close to 0-0 wing. But it is Destar. Now Destar nearly leads it to Ascari. It's like the leading this race is a curse. As Humane now coming up into the positions. Humane and KJ basically slicing their way through the field in the sprint race. Very wide for Daniel. He might have wing damage from that tap with the wall. And here comes Humane. Humane gonna try and put himself up the position for it. He is. In fact, we might even see him going free wide. Because there's the McLaren of Basher. And it is Daniel going up the inside of... Oh, Daniel's gone to... Daniel's just... Was that on purpose? That was on purpose, methinks. Methinks Daniel might have tried to take out Louis there. Louis's got a penalty, which I think, personally, should be removed. Because, well, I don't think he had much of a choice there. He was hit from the side there by Daniel in very unsportsmanlike behaviour. I don't see how that was a mistake from Daniel there. That looked very much like a deliberate act of... You can claim he misses racing zone, but he immediately retired straight after, and that is kind of suspicious. But who this helps greatly is Basher. Basher now is behind Lewis, and Lewis does not have DRS anymore because of that incident at turn 1. So Basher here, and even Humane, who was well done. As who's that? Dan gone. Dan has gone for a little spin at Ascari, and that's him now out of the points in the sprint race. But Humane, he's climbed several positions here. He's up to 4th from 9th on the grid. And he's looking to make it 3rd. He's going to make it 3rd because I don't think Basher's going to have much to... Okay, maybe Basher does. As Nomad, is that getting ahead of Mars? Might be getting ahead of Mars. Turn 1. The positions stay the same. As KJ does, in fact, KJ gets past Humane, so in Cloud Cuckoo Land, trying to be chat, Humane's got past Cuckoo Land. No, Deathstar's got past Cuckoo Land. Deathstar's got past KJ. KJ's got past Humane, oh my god. I am all over the place. KJ is past Humane, up into 4th position. Could very well be 3rd, because Basher is now a 2nd off Louis. Louis is not, as things stand, 2nd clear. Basher's going to rely on ERS alone. But to make the move into Ascari is risky because Ascari is a medium speed corner, and if you make a mistake, and you can see KJ feathering the throttle, he does not want to pass the McLaren on the run to Ascari. KJ looks like the McLaren is starting to struggle on the soft tyres. KJ knows if he wants a chance to win this race, he's got to leap and clear Basher so that he can get the push on Louis, because Louis is not struggling on his soft tyres, unlike the McLaren behind him. And in fact, Deathstar's had a massive snap coming out of Parabolica. Louis could have him here. Louis in the Aston Martin could have him. Round the outside goes Louis, clean as can be from the Aston Martin driver. He takes the lead from the top. Takes the lead from the top two. Takes the lead from Deathstar. KJ doesn't pass the fat part. As who's that gone? That is Grizzler again, the pole sitter, the man who was doing so well. He's retired from the session and he's now down and out of the race. As Basher is trying so hard to get past Humane here. That's a bad one from KJ. That's nearly a side pod impact for Humane. These are the two championship rivals. They really want to. One of them wants to be on top regardless of the situation here. So the only sprint race, of course, it sets the grid for the. Oh, that's a massive slide from KJ, and he's going to be sitting duck here for Humane. KJ down to 4th. Even Basher might have a look at him. Basher's going to have a look. Is he? No, I think in the back. I think he's better of it. As dang, it's another 3-second penalty. but the top two have streaked away. It's a 3-second gap because these two are fighting, or these three are all fighting for the last of the podium positions. Nomad is as I was about to say, Nomad's looking to keep an eye on this fight and bounce. He's been pounced on by Golsey. You can see the marbles there on Nomad's car getting him there as Human is passed by, as Death Star's going past Louis into turn 1 for Death Star. Very nice move there. As is the yellow flag in sector 3 for Dan. As KJ now coming out there, and it looks like Humane is going to be fighting with Basher, which is not what he wants. He wants to be keeping close to KJ so he can pounce and try and at least claw some points back on the championship leader. But as things stand, they will not be doing that as... Basher's bashed! Basher has hit the back of the fire driver, but doesn't look to have done anything too serious. As Humane comes now round Lesmo 2. He's going to have the run, he's going to have DRS, but is he going to make the move? Probably not. He'd want to make the move, quite possibly, the start of the next lap, so then it only leaves KJ with this DRS zone to try and pass here, and obviously, as I said, the pass to Ascari is risky, as Humane has shut his DRS well before the braking zone, trying to make sure that he does not pass the Alfa Romeo driver. He's had a bit of a rough run through Ascari, as Humane, but he has kept it well within as it's like, yeah, Humane was like breaking the toe a bit there, just trying to perhaps even give Golsey a bit of a toe in the sister Ferrari. It's a bit of a shady exit there, but we know how strong the DRS is. It doesn't matter how much KJ deploys, as Death Star is blasted past by Louis. That is not much of a fight, and Death Star is even out of ERS. But the fight now, Basher gets past Humane. Basher is past Humane, and that is going to be critical there, because Humane wants to be ahead of KJ. Now he's behind a car. And Basher's had a terrible run, and could we even see Golsey have a go? No, as Basher's gone, had a massive snap to the outside. Golsey's on the grass! That's not the quickest route around that corner, I must say. As the Golsey now coming in to the second Varianta. But it looks pretty likely that it's going to be Death Star's day. Obviously, depending on the penalty situation post-race, he can't really... Humane's gone! Humane's gone on the exit of Lesmo 2. He's tried so hard to try and keep up with his championship rival that he's put it in the wall. And he's out the sprint race. I think he should be classified because it's the last lap, but whether or not he gets any points, that is down to the stewards. This is the last push for these people. Death Star is going to win the sprint as things stand, but will that stand? Who knows? As it's like Nomad and Mars are fighting. It's been a good comeback from Mars. Louis comes home to cross the flag first, but he is second from Death Star. KJ comes home third. Good championship, good run from him, the championship leader. Basher fourth, Mars fifth, Nomad sixth by 77 thousandths. Golsey seventh, T1 17 in eighth, and Dan will come home in a lowly ninth. So it is Death Star who takes the plaudits in the sprint race as things stand. There we go. So KJ gets over the day, and I've got to say I kind of do agree with that. But the good thing is this does set up a very exciting grid with Death Star first, Louis second, KJ third, Ashim Basher fourth, Mars fifth, Nomad sixth, Golsey seventh, T17 eighth, Dan in ninth, Humane in 10th, Grizzle 11th, Daniel 12th, and DeVito 13th. Now, of course, points are awarded in the sprint races from 1st to 10th. So Death Star gets 10 points, Louis 9, KJ 8, and all the way down there to the 1 point. Technically for Humane, whether or not he'll be classified remains to be seen. But this will be your starting grid for the race. So, 2 of the 3 championship protagonists in the top 3. Unfortunate there for Humane to be dropping out down to 10th. Oh. Oh, wow. That was a hell of a sprint race, and I must say we're going to have quite an exciting race. If that was a sprint race, I'm looking forward to the main race. We wait for the drivers to ready up. Ba 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 da da da. Gee, 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 gee. Ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. As we wait for the drivers to ready up. Will they ever ready up? Will we find out who wins? Find out next time in Hyperdrive Racing. Oh, we are. I eat my words. 5 red lights. And we're going off in Monza. It looks like a fairly equal start from the top two. In fact, even slightly better start from Louis there. Blasting down into turn 1. The position's already changing as they head into turn 1. KJ going to the outside. KJ takes second place. So the two championship protagonists, or two of them, in the top two positions. Third is Louis. Fourth Basher. Fifth Nomad. Sixth is T17. The yellow flag for Mars. Looks like Mars has had a bit of a shocking start there. Goldulo on the back of DeVito. We've got all three tyre compounds being used. Hard for Destar, medium for KJ, hard for Louis, soft for Nomad, medium for Basher, hard for T17. That's a very nice switch there from Goldsy. Mediums for Dan, hards for Daniel, hards for Humane, soft for Goldsy, hards for DeVito, hards for Grizzler, and hards for Mars. So, predominantly hard, but with two soft and 3 medium runners in the running. So, as Grizzler gets past DeVito, Grizzler looking to climb back up the order after that disappointing sprint race in the Mercedes. He went on the back of his teammate Goldsy, looking past him. Which obviously thought what he needs, but it's going to be different strategies here. As KJ going for the lead of the, getting a nice little cut across there on Destar. KJ looking to keep his championship leaders. Oh, T17 has gone, and Destar. Oh no, it's not. Oh my gosh, here we go, lads. It's a remake of the sprint. You complained that I missed it in the sprint. Well, here it is in the feature race. So shut your mouth. As they come now down into turn 1. Ooh, no, Louis has taken the lead. Yes, Louis taking the lead. Louis going from third to first in the span of a straight. And KJ and Destar fighting. Nomad has now caught up. He's on the soft tyres, so he's going to be rapid at this stage. As Basher's gone. Yeah, Basher's in the gravel. Unfortunate there for Basher. Obviously something happening at turn 1. But the real tension is now the fight for second as, oh, KJ's going into the back of Destar. Championship rivals have collided. What has gone on there? Nomad blasts past, and as Daniel gets past, Humane gets past Daniel. So KJ, who started the lap in the almost in the lead of this race, has now gone from that down to 4th place. KJ there has I'll wait for the end of this lap before moving hard. KJ has suffered there incredibly at the on the second lap here in Monza. A bit wide there from Nomad. KJ can have a much nicer run through as Scully does indeed gains a couple of tenths. But if I miss stuff now, guys, it's on you because I've been asked to remove the HUD. So I will do as you have commanded. Again, apologies for the yawning. It's been a long day here. It's going to be a long week ahead. So this is it. This is lap 1 of no HUD. So here we go. So it is still even Steven in the top 4. Humane is trying to break the toe, give the toe as the Red Bull passes Daniel Grizzly up to I think 8th position. That's like 8th position for him. The Haas of someone fighting the Ferrari of Golsey, and then the other Alfa Romeo of Mars there, Basher down there, and obviously the Williams of 217 in last position. Yeah, it will be perfect for the thumbnail YouTube if I can get a good shot. As look at that, up the inside, does they go? Oh, and that's wide there from Humane. Up the inside goes. Oh, what's happened there? Oh no, Daniel and Grizzler. That Grizzler. Sorry guys, I've got to check. It is Grizzler. Grizzler and Daniel have come together, and it's all gone terribly wrong for two drivers that at one point were doing very well and looked like they could be doing quite well in the feature race. Have now both tumbled off into the gravel, and I'm not surprised. I'd be surprised if Daniel there has damage. He's obviously behind his teammate, but yeah, he's in fact passes to. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of lagging. But back to the fight for the lead, and KJ's as here comes Death Star and Louis. Death Star inside for Louis. Death Star, that's a bit deep. No, Death Star, I thought he braked a bit late there. But Death Star Louis, KJ gets past Nomad. Nomad on softs? It is. So that's Nomad. And then Humane up to 5th. Still got his train behind him on the Red Bull. Whoever this is, and Mars. Yep, Death Star has indeed taken the lead from Lee as Daniel has retired and Grizzler have decided to retire. Seen both in the pit. Double check. Oh, no, where's Daniel retired? Daniel might have retired in the pit, maybe, no. Yes, no, he's got to touch straight across. There is a field spread, but it is still quite close between all these little battles going on here. Daniel out of the session as the top 2. Oh, another side for Mars. He's not enjoying that Sky chicane at all. Must be something to do with his setup. Yes, you can hear the engine revving there for Louis. He does not want to pass him before the detection point of the DRS, which is there. So into the parabolica here for the two drivers leading this race. So the championship. KJ keeping them both within eyesight as Golsey's gone. Golsey has retired at the parabolica. What's happened here, lads? And oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Dan is into the pits. He has got a high penalty speeding. Very easy to do here in Monza. So the second lap and the final lap of this, so the third and final lap of the No Hard Challenge. It looks pretty clear as things stand. We have the Ferrari here of whoever fighting, but yeah, as things stand, I think Death Star is on course to take the championship lead as things stand. Obviously, outscoring KJ here by a few points in the sprint, whether that's 1 or 2 points. We'll have to wait and see what she would say about the incident involving Daniel and Louis. But as things stand, KJ is going to gain quite a few points. Well, I don't think he's quite at the lead as things stand. He's currently second. He's left session, but he's out, so that doesn't make any difference to us. Death Star, as things stand, actually he needs to take the lead of the race and win the race with KJ third for him to take the championship lead. Because of course he's 7.5 points back, he'd have gained at least 6.5, so he needs to score by a bit more. As they round the final corner to start this lap, I get my HUD back. There we go. We're down 3-1 sadly. As Louis takes the fastest lap off the race. Death Star closes, but he can be too far back to make anything of it on this lap. Very good braking from Death Star, really late on the brake into turn 1. KJ ahead of Nomad. DeVito ahead of Humane. Humane not really having the race he'd be hoping for. I think he'd like to be ahead of the Haas, as the Haas has a little rear locking. As Mars looks on, so Death Star leading out of the championship protagonist, KJ as well, be bummed to be falling behind these two, especially these on the mediums, and what would still, at the moment as things stand, probably be the faster of the two tyres. No matter, I think we'll be happy. Let's have a look at the position changes. So obviously Louis and Death Star have swapped. KJ still third, Nomad up 2, DeVito up 8 from last on the grid. He's even holding off Humane in the Ferrari there. Humane up 4, obviously after that sprint race he only went with Mars down 2, Basher down 4 after that instant at turn 1, T17 down 1, and Darren down 1. So the biggest mover is DeVito up 8, and the biggest loser of those still running is Basher down in 8th. So it's still a while to go before we see pit stop, probably lap 10 or 11 for the softs, probably 13 or 14 for the mediums, there's 16, 17 for the hards. And the other position change for DeVito is passed by Humane after I make that great comment about him. I think Humane might have DRS as well, no doesn't, but Louis is being overtaken. Louis is now back down to second position in the Aston Martin. Very nice here, very nice clean racing from these two. In fact, they're probably helping put each other away, giving each other DRS, pulling away from KJ, who obviously is going to be disappointed, as I said, that on those medium tyres he hasn't been able to make any further inroads or even take the lead. Obviously, they did get hit by. He did hit the back of Death Star, maybe he does have slight wing damage, like a yellow front wing, which, whilst there's no visual evidence of damage, it does obviously have some minor implications for the race itself. Right, Louis again on the back of Death Star. This is going to probably be another overtake into turn 1 with relative ease, because that's how powerful DRS is on this game. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, God, it says yes, Death Star has indeed been passed by Louis, as per usual. Game, I feel like this game does have too much powerful DRS, but I don't know, it could just be me. Oh, God, knows. Oh. Right, top 2 are still fighting away, 3 seconds clear of KJ, and of course, well, it depends what tyre speed will go on. I'm sure soft runners will go for hards, as that's the safest option. Hards will probably go for softs. It's interesting what the mediums runners will go for. Will they go long and try and stick it out on a set of softs, or will they go short set of hards? It's going to be quite interesting. But we know it's quite easy to overtake here. Perhaps in contrast to its real life counterparts, where it's let's take it Monza. Coming out round the final corner. Oh, let's have a look. It's Death Star. From half a second back, is he going to get past Louis? He's at 10 miles an hour quicker. No, he's not. They need to be within about 3/10 to get past the car ahead. That's good to know, I think. As another 3-second penalty as Humane gets past Vito as this battle for fifth continues. Gripping battle for fifth position continues. Humane obviously would love to finish as high as he can up the grid. The safety car's off though, he's not going to really put any points on the championship championship leader. But he's fighting with DeVito and even Mars isn't too far back, so this could be quite an interesting fight here. Obviously Humane wants to hold on as best he can, but as Mars is all over the back of the Haas driver, but the Haas obviously has DRS, so it won't matter much. Death Star closing on Louis, but obviously he will wait until... Oh, Death Star again, he does not like Ascari. I can't help but feel that that's going to be quite negative for their start. It doesn't like a Scarver. I feel like it's going to bite him at some point, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. As Death Star comes around as they come around the Parabolica up to the line to start lap 10. So I'm thinking Software's going to pit face in. Nomad has fallen off the back of KJ. As Death Star coming now up, closing, not using any overtake mode. Up to turn 1, he takes the lead and Louis doesn't fight it. So Death Star now takes the lead for the 30,000th time this race. Really good. Yeah, the blue light on Nomad means it is time for him to box off those soft tyres, and I can imagine that with this long left to go in the race, it will be the hard tyres unless he can do some fairly good tyre whistling on those on medium tyres. Medium tyre 16 laps isn't impossible, but it will not be feeling quite so good, especially as he will be fighting the likes, most likely, of Humane and DeVito and Mars, who'll be on softer, faster, fresher rubber. So, have to wait and see what he picks. Louis is in the DRS range of Death Star, but is he going to go for it? No, he wants to back out of it. So, Louis keeps behind the Mercedes driver for now. So this is a game of cat and mouse we have going on between Louis and Death Star. So we'll have to wait and see who comes out on top, because these two are very evenly matched. They're still pulling away from KJ. KJ now 4 seconds back, and Nomad's even closed in a bit on this lap. Well, let's see, what will Nomad do? Will it be the mediums? Will it be the hards for this, for the Haas? Or will he stay out another lap? Like that, and I think he is into the pits for Nomad for the first scheduled pit stop of the race. And he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ooh, dear. I did see him moving at like 53 miles an hour, it's a 50 mile an hour limit, but you know, we won't talk about that. Nomad into the pits. It is the hard tyres, not a surprise there, considering the degradation and the fact that obviously he's going to need to hold on for quite a while. In fact, here comes T17, yes, so he will come up clear of T17, which will be quite beneficial for obviously his race. Although that 5-second penalty, we could see him tumbling a bit. Oh, and look at that, I missed it, but Louis got past Death Star. Wow, what a shocker. For all those complaining that I'm not seeing the overtakes, it is literally just an overtake damage to come on with DRS. It is going to get boring after the first 13 times we've done it together. Humane is still on the back of DeVito, as we get back to 6 we have gaps, but they are like it's quite nicely situated. Obviously, Nomad struggling to get those hard tyres up to temperature. Especially at this track where, I mean, it's easy on this year's game because the braking is much more influential in terms of how much it warms up the tyres. And obviously Monza is a very heavy brake track, so the brakes will be very warm, so they'll help warm up the tyres. But yeah, it'll also be interesting to see what Death Star and Louis do. Will one of them pit early, and then the other, you know, pits later for softer rubber. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But Death Star retakes the lead. Look at that, guys! Wow, what a difficult overtake of the year right there. Humane's going to have his run at DeVito. Humane coming now up behind the Haas. Even his pit lights on, which is certainly surprised because he's still barely halfway through in the race. And it's Humane up into the top 4. Well, top 5, because he hasn't pitted yet, and Nomad has. And there is Nomad finishing his first flying lap on those hard tyres, which probably felt like hell, but should now be giving him the better grip he would love. Louis now going through the top 2, going through the first of the Degners. That's Suzuka. The first of the Lesmos. There we go, got the right track and the right. Oh, as Death Star's got a 3-second penalty. Oh dear, Death Star. And he's now going to be down in 2 seconds. Louis overtaken him and the run to Ascari. Obviously, that bad. I don't think Louis could really miss the opportunity. As Louis now has a bad exit out of Ascari, so it looks like these two are picking up each other's bad habits. So that could be crucial there for the race. That could be Death Star's undoing. A 3-second time penalty. Oof. Depending on the undercut here from KJ, it could also very much change. Could change the face of if he even gets this top 2. No one else goes to pits, even though there are some pit indicator lights on. Let's look at that. Louis passed by Death Star. But this does take the pressure off Louis a bit because he knows that as Death Star slides into turn 1, he knows that he doesn't have to now keep right behind the Mercedes driver because, well, he's got a 3-second penalty. He can afford to make the odd mistake. He can afford to out DRS range. But as long as he doesn't get any better than that, any worse than that, then he should be okay. DeVito's still right behind Human. Human's gone a bit deep there into the first corner, but he's He stays ahead of the Haas for now as they come on the Curva Grande. DeVito's going to slipstream. He's overtake mode. DeVito gets Human up the run, or yeah, DeVito gets Human on the run to the second of the chicanes. Very nice there for the Haas driver. Nice overtake. Mars into sixth. Mars isn't really sort of pushed forward as much as I thought he would. He's just sort of stuck. He's stuck. I don't think he's really stuck behind these two. He's been very close to them. If he's stuck behind them, he's also sitting behind them, using his DRS to try and keep Basher at bay. Basher climbing back up the grid after that sad incident at turn 1, which obviously affects his race. Now let's see what are people going to do. Lap 13, so we could be getting to pit stop territory, especially for medium tyres. Louis got a bad exit, so his rears are starting to struggle. Is KJ coming in? KJ's coming into the pits, and I can see that being for the hard tyres as Dessart is obliterated by Louis, because that's just how powerful DRS is. Let us ride on board with Human as he probably blasts past the half of the Vito like he was nothing. And he has. It is hards for KJ, not surprising, and it's going to be the hards for Basher behind, and for Mars, he's going on to the mediums. Mars making a relatively early pit stop, he's have to double stack as well. Oh, that's going to hurt him, especially with Basher in the pits. Oh, and he's got a front wing change there for Mars, that's interesting. Mars having a front nose code change as well, by the looks of it, which has dropped him behind Basher. Obviously, he's now on the medium tyres, so he should, in theory be quicker as T17 and Dan having a bit of a fight here for the last position on the track, effectively. So they're out of sync. Well, Dan's pitted and T17 is yet to pit, but they're out of sync with these guys coming out around them. So Humane and DeVito, are they going to stick around? Are they going to pit this lap? So obviously with KJ in, they might be trying to, as Dan. Oh, these two are. That is a bit suspicious. In the way of Mars. Mars up the inside. Mars gets the job done. And ahead of the Williams driver for now. As the top two are pitted, the two leaders are into the pits. Both, I can assume, onto the medium tyres. So I can see mediums for the... Yeah, mediums. So they are going to be mirroring each other right to the end of the race. So Humane takes the lead with DeVito second. I can see these two trying to go for the soft tyres just to see if they can get that advantage. Obviously, they will have a big gap to KJ. KJ obviously still behind Nomad. And possibly they were reacting to the undercut threat, but that seems fairly unlikely at this stage, considering the gap was 4 seconds, nearly even 5, between KJ and Destar. Now let's see, the question will be for these two, who can warm their tyres up first? That could also decide this race. So that's going to be interesting. So Human takes the lead, obviously DeVito second, as I said. These two I can see them going, trying to go for soft tyres, just so they can try and push on. KJ behind Nomad, so KJ has been jumped by Nomad, but obviously the Alpha Male much fresher hard tyres. So I can see them. I see KJ probably getting back past Nomad at some point, especially with Nomad having a penalty anyway. So yeah, it looks like Destar has warmed up his tyres. It looks like the top two have warmed up their tyres, so they're going to be fighting right to the end of the race. The question remains if who is going to benefit the most. Who's going to come out on top? And let's see the top two. It's mediums for Human, and it is medium. So no one is going to try and go the softs, apart from possibly T17. But Vito's still sitting in. Was that a nose code change? I'm not sure why he was in the pit lane there for so long. But here comes Basher coming down. He's past DeVito. And is he going to get past Human? No, Human does remain in 5th position. A long way off KJ. So I think any hopes from him that he would get a benefit of coming out on the soft compound tyres is probably quite easily dashed there. And KJ has indeed closing the gap to Nomad on those fresher hard tyres. Oh yeah, Death Star's past Louis. Wow, what a shock. As these two continue to chop and change positions like it's a Saturday afternoon. I put this for you guys and say long day for me. Working on hard working, choice is yours. Now, whose car suits the medium tyres better now? Defsar has more experience with the medium on this track. He did do the medium in the sprint race, so he knows how it works. Defsar just set the fastest lap of the race. Commercial lap can change quite quickly. As a look at that, KJ has caught up to the back of Nomad and does have DRS, but he'll be too far back on this straight to take advantage of it. Vito is on the back of Mars, and Mars looks like he could be under threat here from DeVito on those slightly fresher mediums. I don't think 2 laps would be much of a difference, but DeVito on his outlap, blasting past the Alfa Romeo, and he's up into 7th position. Okay, on the back of Nomad now. Now these two need to be careful not to fight too hard, because although Human is 8 seconds back, he's on the medium tyres. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, Deathstar's gone off the track again. Deathstar's really loving that sort of rally section at the end of Lesmo 2 that only he can see about it. Yeah, look at that. Louis really backing off the quarter there. He does not want to be passing that Mercedes going to a Ascari. It is a recipe for disaster. As the rest of the field barrels into Ascari. It's been a fascinating race so far. The top 2 covered by absolutely nothing. KJ on the back of Nomad now. KJ, what can he do in that Alpha? Can he get back onto the podium? I think he'd be happy with the podium, considering the fact he hasn't been as quick as Death Star. I think he'd be open to admit that, and to minimise the damage. As Louis back past Death Star. Wow, what a overtake, guys. That was so hard. And KJ does pass Nomad. That could be crucial. Now KJ needs to see if he can pull away on those special hard tyres from the half driver. He's got a bit deep though. So that's going to complicate things as they head into Curve Grande. Mars not back past DeVito, so the DRS is powerful, but it's not so stupidly powerful to the point where we're just passing each other the second they have DRS open. So that's quite interesting and fun to know. Slight lock up from Nomad, a bit deep into the chicane there, going to lose a bit of time. Yeah, loses a good couple of tenths there. As Nomad comes down the back straight. He hasn't quite yet been broken by KJ, but I can see it happening fairly soon. So let's take stock of things. Louis and Death Star have been embroiled in this battle for the lead for the last 8 or so laps, and well, they just keep changing positions every lap. KJ up to 3rd, and he has indeed broken DRS for Nomad, so he can try and push on in that Alpha round. Nomad's running a pretty good, but if so, could be quite a quiet race now. In 4th, Human 5th, clear of Basher in 6th, who's got DeVito coming 7th, Mars in 8th, so these two have somehow managed to, they swap positions, but they're now still closing in on each other. Dan in 9th and 10th, and look at that, Death Star's back in the lead. Wow, what a shot, guys. Hold on to yourself, and I've got to do hydrate, there's nothing here to hydrate with. Glug, 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 glug. I definitely need drinking, guys. Drink water. You touch grass. You touch grass, I'll drink water. That's the deal we'll make here. As Louis and Death Star. Wow. It's going to be another position change. Gee, could it maybe be DeVito's? DeVito's going to get past Basher here. Nice job there for DeVito on those medium tyres in the Haas into 6th. Pretty decent haul of points here for the Haas team. 6th and 4th. That's stand. There's Louis. Oh, neither have DRS. Okay, I think they played a game of chicken at the DRS line, and the game of chicken chose neither. So DeVito should be able to pull away from Basher, considering he's on medium tyres. Mars now could be looking to pounce, but Mars is on older, well, same age tyres as Basher, sorry, but he's on the mediums. So it'll be interesting to see how Mars' tyres do, because he's still 7 laps to go, so he'll be 13, 14 laps old. So we'll have to wait and see what. Oh, and the yellow flag for T17, who has retired from the session at Ascari. Hopefully it won't affect the leaders as they're going through that section now. They're nearly 10 over 10 seconds from the lead, nearly 10 seconds from second. So this shows you how quick Louis and Destar have been this weekend. They have been absolutely untouchable. Even from the sprint race, they've been pretty untouchable. So let's see how things are. Whew. Basher now closing on to Vito. Obviously, he may got past the Vito a few laps ago, and well, it has been pulled away quite quickly from the Haas. Basher, is he going to get? No, not quite yet close enough to get past the Haas. We're still very much into our rest lanes. Let's see what Louis can do. Louis into the lead. Look at that. Fantastic drive there from Louis. He's kept up with Destar, and he's kept overtaking Destar, which I think is a very impressive feat here in Division 1. Destar for that 3-second penalty, probably cost him the win at the end of the race. Right, let's have a looky. I don't know what I'm having a look at because I keep saying that. There's something to look at because, well, it's also the same. It's just going to be who can change position now. Vito has got past Basher. I did miss that. I apologise for that. It's got to the point for these two where they're just starting to play chicken with each other around the up the DRS line. So. Open DRS, back past the Death Star. Wow. There's Basher looking like we try and reclaim 6th position. Let's have a look at the penalty situation, because it's not all time penalty raising. It's not all. It's 3 seconds for Death Star, the only one with a 3-second time penalty. Nomad and Dan carrying 5-second penalties for pit lane infringements, which would actually move Humane up to 4th as things stand, which would put. As things stand, the championship contenders could all be finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th here in this Monza Italian Grand Prix, which I think is quite funny to be honest. Despite the fact that they all started with very different points on the grid in both the qualifying and the sprint, from the sprint race and the feature race, it's all ended up 2nd, 3rd, 4th, which I think is quite funny. As we head now into the closing stages of this race, it has been, as I said, a fantastic, absolutely brilliant drive from Lewis and Destar here, or Louis. I don't know if you can tell me if it's Louis or Lewis. They've been, as I said, untouchable. KJ's tried his best, but he's going to have second for quite a lonely 3rd. It's been a fantastic drive from these two, and really it's a shame that Destar has that 3-second penalty, because otherwise we could have been having a fantastic fight for the lead to the end with these two, depending on who's done what. As Louis going to blast past the Mercedes without a care in the world. Yep, there we go. Wow, how incredible is that, guys? We've had another lead change for the 13th time. So we need to go back and count how many times the lead has changed from these two changes. Oh, pardon me. Anyone particularly close to each other? No. Basher has kept up with DeVito, which I think is impressive. I thought DeVito would be pulling away on those medium tyres, but it'd be interesting if Basher can come back, even though he's on older tyres. Obviously, those mediums are going to play off quicker. So. Diddly-doo. Look at that, Deathlock got past Louis. What a shocker, guys. Let me pick up my draw off the floor. But Humane is on the back of Nomad. That is going to be a change of position. Humane, as I said, going to be up to 4th. And to be fair, KJ isn't a million miles away. So, it's not an impossibility for him to get past or up close to, like I said, that is, he would somehow get 5.7 seconds in 3 laps. So, maybe not. So, the championship taking us all up in position. Let's have a look at the positions again, shall we, folks? It has been even Stevens from the top 3. Humane up 6th, fantastic from him. Nomad up 1. Jeez, Nomad, enjoyed it those at the end. Vito up 7, nice, not bad. Basher down 3, Mars down 3, and Dan started 9th and is currently in there. Death Star too far ahead of Louis as he stand. It's Louis to next red as Basher's back past Vito. Vito must have made a mistake, or Vito's let Basher go ahead so he can get DRS. Very nice to Vito, you're smart. That sounds like a good idea from him. As Vito up the line with that DRS, he's going to blast straight that past McLaren without a care in the world. As Mars is in for the pits, Mars going for the fastest lap point there. Very slight from Mars. In fact, Nomad's 5 seconds will drop him down behind Vito and Basher. I mean, if Mars hadn't pitted, he could have also got up 7th, but I guess he's just like at the fastest lap point as Dan's had a spin out of the final corner. Louis on the back of the Mercedes. Just looking straight defensive. Don't worry about that. Let's start the penultimate lap here in Monza. As it's been quite a fantastic race between his front two, and if without that penalty for Death Star, he could have been in for quite a treat in these last 2 laps, depending on who was behind who. But it will likely stand that Louis is to win this race regardless of whether or not he finishes ahead or behind Death Star, but he wants to finish ahead on the track. Or does he? He was letting off the throttle quite early down the straight there. Wanting to pass the Mercedes and still not wanting to pass it. And look at that, Death Stars. These two are playing games now. They're playing Hamilton and Verstappen games, Saudi Arabia. This, well, fine with the lead they have, is risky. I mean, they have just lost a full, well, nearly a second there to KJ, just from faffing around, coming out the last corner. So these two do need to be careful that they're not holding each other up, because KJ, while still quite far back, is still, you know, a threat. Yeah, Louis lets off the throttle. Humane was indeed clear from KJ, so it's a shame that we didn't have more laps. I think Humane closing on KJ could be quite an exciting battle. As they start into the final lap. The final lap here for the leaders. It's been a very good race here from Division 1. Most of those have been pits and quits rather than crashes on track. Louis now is going to have DRS. Yes, I noticed Death Star's burning his DRS, but it's not going to matter because here comes Louis. Louis straight past the Mercedes as if it's nothing. Into turn 1. Louis takes the lead on the last lap, which we can do for the last time. Nomad has kept up with Humane actually. In fact, if anything, he's close back up to the Ferrari driver. It doesn't matter if he has that 5-second penalty, but I'm sure he'll happily take the DRS advantage to try and pull away from DeVito and Basher, who will pass him as things stand in terms of the gap in the points. As Mars does get the fastest lap of the race, so his pit stop was indeed worth it. So Mars will get the fastest lap point regardless. been a truly fantastic race here from Louis. He has held on to Destar, he has fought with Destar, and he's going to win it on the track, even with Destar's 3-second penalty. He wanted to win it on the track. Louis in the Aston Martin, he has been invincible. He has been almost untouchable, apart from that incident in the sprint race. But he has made it count. Louis has, and it will be him, not Destar, who will cross the line to win the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Louis wins, Destar comes home a very respectful second, and then rounds Louis' car out of pure frustration. KJ, on a day with which he knew it would be damage limitation, as Basher has passed De Vito on the last lap, they've made a bit of contact. Basher's got marbles. It's going to be drag race to the line. It's going to be Basher who just holds off. Basher gets 5th. Sorry, KJ comes home 3rd, which I think he will take, considering it was damage limitation with the pace of Louis and Destar. Humane comes home 4th, again, damage limitation for him in the championship. Basher there comes home 5th. De Vito will be 6th. Nomad 7th after his 5-second penalty is applied. Mars, who pitted for the fastest lap on point, does get it in 8th. And Dan, who finishes the race, so that's good for him. Well done, Dan. Comes home in 9th position. Humane is given driver of the day, which I can agree with, kind of. Jolly good. If people want to do post-race interviews, my chat is open. So those are the points. Obviously, they're not realistic because we have a different point system. So I'll take you through the race results. It is Louis who claims victory here at Monza, with Destar coming home 2nd on track and even with a 3-second penalty applied. KJ comes home a lowly 3rd. Humane 4th. Basher 5th. De Vito comes home 6th. Nomad 7th. Mars 8th, and with the fastest lap. Dan comes home 9th. T17, FPL Goolsey, Daniel and Grizzler were all eliminated to leave us with just 9 finishes here in Monza. Let's have a look and see if anyone's having a little chitty chat here. Ooh. Oh, let's have a look. Okay, failed to join the session I was leaving. Nice, thank you, game. Now. Oh. Oh, we do. Oh my god. Oh my god, what am I joining that for? I didn't mean to join this. My bad. Oops, I didn't mean to do the Discord chat. That's what I get. Link. There we go. Right, let's move people into the chat. We have Destar. Let's move Destar in first because I like Destar. This is fun. Can I? Move to. Come with. There we are. Hello, Death Star. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Jolly good, and I can hear you. This is good. So, Death Star. Well, first of all, fantastic drive. Congratulations on second place. I am sure it's not what you would have been hoping for at some point during that weekend, but still second place. Tell us how that race went from your point of view.
To be honest, it was pretty dry. I mean, the only overtakes that were made were DRS, but it was pretty good. I had the pace to win, but that 3 second penalty really held me back. Kind of just accepted the V2.
Yeah, that 3 second penalty. It did look like at points you were struggling with some of the handling over the curbs. Was that, would you say, accurate, or was it just the difficulty of driving at Monza?
Ah, it was just a scurry, nothing else.
Yeah, I noted when I was watching back from Louis several times how he seemed to always lose it through a scurry. But yeah, obviously got to think championship. We're 8 rounds down now, 4 to go. Obviously, you are definitely a championship protagonist. How do you feel about your championship chances after this weekend? Obviously, with the sprint race involved as well.
Well, even though it's only going to be half points this race, it still closes in my gap to KJ, which was only 7.5 points at the start of the race, so I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are racing next week. Well, I hope we're racing next week. Otherwise, I've just said we're racing next week and we aren't. We are racing at. Good if I learnt the calendar, seeing as I'm also a driver. Next weekend is Qatar. How do you feel about Qatar?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. It's probably my best track on the calendar.
Okay, well, fighting talk there from Death Star. Yeah, fantastic drive from you and Louis there. You were just swapping positions every lap to the point where I didn't even bother spectating you when you overtook each other because it was just a DRS overtake. Yeah, obviously that 3 second penalty did slightly do you over, but regardless, still an excellent drive. And as you said, it's half points, but you're still closing down the gap to KJ, which which every point matters. So very good drive, my man, and good luck next week.
Alright, thank you very much.
And we are joined by KJ. KJ, can you hear me?
Can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to turn you up. Hopefully, so people can hear you. Excellent. So, KJ, championship leader, and from what I can roughly work out, you will still just be leading it due to half points afterwards. Talk us through how was that race for you?
Very lonely, really. I mean, qualified really badly, only P8. Sprint went brilliant. Managed to avoid all the chaos up front, and everyone kept taking her out and got P, so that was good. And then I was hoping I people winning the race. Got off the line well, jumped up into P2, but then into turn about lap 3, I just braked too deep, and so I went off the track, and then that dropped me over a second behind the top 2. And when I got back past Nomad, I just couldn't keep the top 2 in front. Nomad undercut me, but he did really well to keep his tyres with me on the softs. But I just got him back eventually, and then after I overtook Nomad, I was just sitting there. I thought maybe I could gain a little bit on the leaders, but they were just way too quick for me today. So yeah, very lonely race for me, but I'm kind of satisfied because P3 is still a good result, but obviously Death Star did gain the standing, so yeah, a bit bittersweet.
Yeah, obviously, as I was talking to Death Star about championship, you have to talk championship. We are at that point in the season where it is unavoidable, and as the championship leader, it's something you've got to be at least thinking about every race. But yeah, no, it's. Would you say that was good damage limitation considering the pace that Louis and Death Star had on you this weekend? That P3 was probably the best you were going to get.
Yeah, I think that's the maximum. I mean, maybe if I hadn't made that mistake at turn 4, I maybe could have kept with them if I was in the DRS, because obviously DRS was really powerful. But yeah, I don't. Maybe even then I couldn't keep up with them because I was losing about 5 tenths a lap on average, and I don't know if you gain that much from DRS. So yeah, damage limitation a bit. That's half points because I think with full points I might have taken a lead after this. But yeah, all right weekend. Just to lose some points.
Yeah, and Qatar next weekend. How do you feel about Qatar?
I like Qatar. I do like it. It's going to be track limits, penalties galore.
Oh yeah.
Next weekend. But yeah, obviously I hope to do a bit better because this is now my 5th podium this season without a win.
Oh.
So And it would have been sick if I hadn't spun on the last lap in Belgium, so... Yeah, it's annoying, but I'll try to improve for Qatar and edge ahead of Death Star this time.
I mean, you say that, and it probably is quite an unfortunate record that you have. But the fact that you are five podiums without a win, but you're still leading the championship, I think that says a lot about your consistency.
A Death Star hasn't had a win either, and he's second in the championship.
Well, there you go. You just need to really hope that Louis doesn't, show up for the next 4 races, because at that point it's gonna be a 4-way championship fight.
Yeah. Even Humane's still in the championship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, so very good. Well, excellent drive, as you said. It was very lonely, but the top two were just playing with each other at the end there. Excellent drive, KJ, and obviously good luck next weekend for Qatar at the sale.
Okay, back to comms.
See ya. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been it. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I certainly have. Happy to be back in the comms booth, even if the overtaking was mostly just DOS dependent. We will be back next weekend, round 9, for the race at Losail, Qatar International Circuit. It makes its debut on, well, not only for Hyperdrive Racing, but in Formula 1. We will see you there. Obviously, Division 1 will be same time next week. Division 3, 7:30 on Friday. Division 2, 7:30 on Saturday. Division 1, 7:30 on Sunday. I don't know who'll be doing comms for Division 1 next Sunday, but thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for interacting in chat. Thank you for the subscription as well. If you guys are watching this later on, whether that be on YouTube or on the replay of the live stream, do follow us at Hyperdrive Racing here on Twitch, where you can catch all the races live and in person. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever you're watching us on. Keep your eyes peeled on our socials, and of course, we will see you all as soon as possible. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your evening days, guys. Have a lovely rest of your week. We will catch you next Friday, Division 3, 7:30, the Losail International Circuit in Qatar. Be there, guys, because it's going to be a mad one.